Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Terminus podcast. The train will terminate at this station. With me this week, as always, I have my co-hosts, Wybold, Milky, and TJ, though not necessarily in that order.
Hello. Beep, 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 Chago inbound.
Oh, stop that.
This vehicle is reversing.
You're sequence breaking, Milky.
I know. Our guest star for this week is Doge. Not just
Rainbow
Doge.
Doge.
Yeah, the Rainbow Doge. Bark, much wow, such guests, much trains, wow.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
Alright, so, moving on to our first subject, as always, we have our rail fanning department. And TJ and I actually have a story. We have things that happened this week.
We have joint rail fanning this week.
Yeah, exactly. We went out to, what the
sorry,
heck was
guys.
that? What the heck was that?
Gosh. I hooked to my aircraft carrier, but then I went up the side
Okay,
and
stop
the hook
playing
still
with
connected.
That happened.
we went out to a point at which the Providence and Worcester breaks away from the Northeast Corridor, and we walked we walked from the nearest railroad crossing down to this intersection.
Yeah.
And right as we got down there, right as we were getting down to an MBTA train went by, F40, the whole deal.
For all of you who don't know, MBTA is Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority.
You almost
Thank
screwed
you.
that up. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Cool.
We caught a P&W train, Providence and Worcester train going by in the opposite direction pretty much right after, and then right after that, another regional went by, the first regional of the day that we saw, with an AEM-7 on the front, a toaster.
Toaster!
Oh, are those like those Swedish?
I don't know, are they?
The Swiss, whatever?
I don't know.
I don't know, the two-cab electric units. The things that the sprinters are replacing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's, I think the Swedish ones you're talking about are the,
Swiss.
The Swiss, whatever. I think those are the HHP8s, the Bombardier engines. They actually lease those.
I don't
Swedish.
think they're the Bombardiers.
The AEM-7s are Swedish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the Bombardiers that I'm thinking of.
No, the Bombardiers are leased until like 2012 or like 2019, I think.
Well, you have
for 99 years.
Mm.
And they're from Germany. But
Germany.
we went up the Providence and Worcester line to a yard in Valley Falls. We walked across a bridge over the Blackstone River. And then we went from there down a different branch. We probably walked. How far do you think we walked?
Probably like maybe 5 miles total, probably.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Can you have
Look.
Can we not meddle with the document right now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Rail thoughts.
Shut up. Hey, I'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
You guys finish up.
We walked
It was an
over.
emergency, called Conrail.
We
Shush.
followed the tracks over Route 95 and over the Amtrak main line, and we stopped and we saw a regional go by with another AEM-7 and another Acela go by, an Acela go by, and that was it for the rail fanning. But we went and checked out this abandoned bridge, rather long and tall drawbridge over the Seekonk River. Is that Seekonk River?
Oh my.
I think it's the Providence River.
No, the Providence River is the other river.
Oh, the East River, I mean. Sorry, the East River.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, let's say that.
Walked out all the way on this drawbridge. Hasn't been used since early 80s or late 70s.
By Gonerail.
No, by anyone. I don't know who used it last. I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out.
Gonerail.
I think it was New Haven.
Could have been.
Or MBTA, maybe.
No, the last train to go across that was freight. But
Oh, no, I think MBTA was the Pawtucket
It's probably Elton
Central Falls
Door.
Station.
no, I'm gonna hurt you.
There's one.
Uh,
And here we go. Off to the races, fans.
I'll drop a link to it in the description. The Crook Point Bascule Bridge. We walked out on, got some pictures of the bottom of the drawbridge, but we did not climb up the thing.
Those bridges always looked like octopi to me.
Okay.
Octopi.
Like plural of octopus.
I don't understand
I
how a
know.
drawbridge looks like an octopus.
The bascule bridges.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I think I see it now. But okay, sure.
Yeah.
But
If you look at it, you see it. If you hear me, then you're just like, man, he's crazy.
Well, you are.
Well, yeah, but
not too far from the
more
truth.
so than usual.
He's too far gone.
All right, so we walked down the bridge. We had some fun. We, didn't climb the thing, but someone had hung swings from the catenary that was that's at the top of the bridge. I don't understand.
And the top is probably like 100 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I know. It was
Someone
Probably
tried
more
to
than
commit
that.
suicide there.
Oh yeah, no, plenty of people have. That's not even a joke. It's true.
It's a good
I knew.
spot for suicide in Rhode Island.
Great. Go ahead and advertise that.
Great, thanks, TJ.
You're
Wait.
welcome.
So is that it for you?
Yeah,
guys?
that's all we
Yeah.
did this week. TJ was too scared to climb up to the mechanism, but I did.
Because the stairs were old, rickety, and shaking.
Yeah, but my dad went
Well,
up
so is-
first, so that means it was okay.
so is Ellis's dad, but you know.
No, actually.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's fine.
had to go for the joke.
Hey, his dad's really nice.
Yeah,
You haven't
Oh
even
my.
met him,
Okay.
Arbold. You should, though.
I know. Okay, so for my rail fanning this week, I did not do any in-person rail fanning, but
That's because
I
you
would like
suck.
to remind all. I would like to remind all viewers that in an emergency, to contact Conrail in an emergency, call 1-800-272-0911. That's
Don't.
1-800-272-0911.
They won't
To
help you.
contact Conrail, to contact Conrail in an emergency, and please do not mention. Oh, gosh,
Don't
this
mention
is-
us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Oh dear. But yes, for some reason Conrail feels at the liberty to advertise that on their website homepage to contact Conrail in an emergency.
Don't you mean Godwill?
Gonerail, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Gonra-
They still have a
Dead and
homepage,
Gonrail.
though, so give them some credit.
Although, you know, in Norfolk Southern has a heritage unit of a Conrail unit.
No.
That's
It's
like
dead.
That's like rubbing it in their faces.
When it becomes a heritage unit, then it's dead. But and also on the Train
Yeah,
Mountain
wait.
website, which Milky and I will talk about Train Mountain later in this show.
Yep.
I was rail fanning earlier this week, earlier today actually, and I caught both a C41 Rio Grande Southern locomotive, which I was very excited about, and an Alaska Railroad SW 1500.
Nice.
A train mountain? Like a ride-on one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again,
Okay.
Milky and I will talk about what that is later.
Yeah. We'll explain it to you, Easterners that watch CSX
Except I know what it is.
the whale all day.
Watch CSX trains derail. That's definitely what we want.
Yeah.
Wow! Way to take a jab at East CSX. Let's see what else.
Now we can't call them in an emergency.
Now they just hang up. They like forward us to like a call center or something.
For the record, the only train I've watched derail in person was a Providence and Worcester train,
Got it.
and then I
Oh,
watched
yeah,
them.
and then they had to re-rail it on boards.
Yeah, they got out 2x4s and put it back on the tracks.
I've derailed a train, so
I've
don't
derailed a
speak.
few.
A real train?
Depends on your definition.
Was it
So
red?
no.
Yes, it was.
That doesn't count.
Oh.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay,
Still-
moving on. TJ, we've already covered our section, so Milky.
Yeah, I'm lazy. And
Milky did a
I
crap
did-
ton of rail fanning.
Yeah, I was busy. The past 2 weeks whale fanning. I saw 12 Amtrak trains, 6 Coast Star Yikes, and 6 Amtrak Togos.
beep,
They run
beep,
Talgos on the
beep,
West Coast?
Beep, beep. That's where they
That-
are.
That's the only place where they won the new Togos. The
They
Togos.
don't even have Togos anywhere else.
Hang on,
They-
let me look this up real quick.
They do
Well,
They do in Wisconsin, I think. But
Amtrak Talgo.
Wisconsin? That's a weird place to have one.
well,
But
yeah,
Wisconsin is a weird place.
The Talgo Pendular or whatever?
Yeah, they use F40PHs as cab cars to the Rhinos.
Yeah.
F40PHs
They
are
used
good
a
for
what?
I see why they call it the Rhino. I don't even know what you're referring to, and I just see a picture of an engine that I'm going to assume is the Rhino.
you.
Which one is it? Does it have a slope, like a curve, or like a straight down hood?
Yeah.
It looks like a Rhino.
Yeah.
It looks like a rhinoceros. But yeah, I've never seen those. Yeah, would you look at that? Oregon's new Amtrak Cascades Talgo 8-passenger trains.
Yeah,
Alright, well,
that's it.
I also have something to say
Weird.
about those, so don't spoil
And
it.
I rode 2 of them. I
Beep,
rode the only
beep.
2.
Beep.
No. Okay, then I saw 5 Union Pacific freight trains.
Beep. Beep.
Well, 4 if you don't count the P&W one that had UP power on it.
Providence and Worcester? I'm just kidding.
No. Portland and Weston.
It's funny because we have two P&Ws on opposite sides of the
Yeah.
country.
Well,
Yeah, I know,
isn't
I was
that
just
just
telling
like
me-
Portland, Maine, and Portland, Oregon?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Portland, Colorado, for that matter.
It's like I
And
say,
2,
Portland, Colorado does not count.
It exists.
It's not a capital.
So Portland
So sh-
isn't. Is Portland the capital of Maine? It's been
Yes.
Is
okay.
it?
I was never great with Maine.
No, it's Augusta. Never mind. My
I
name.
was gonna say.
My grandma lives like two minutes away. Like you go down her street and you're in Augusta, but like you're at her house and it's not Augusta.
Great story. All right, moving on.
Okay,
Cool
well,
story.
I had more to talk about.
Yes.
Tell
moving
it
back
again.
to Milky.
Much talk about. Sex words. 2 of them were intermodal freight trains.
Beep.
One of them was a ballast train, and they weren't Amtrak, so UP. So you can't go beep, beep, beep.
Beep beep beep.
One of them was
What?
a mixed freight, and another one was a mixed freight. Then the P&W one was the Toledo hauler, which was on the PATH track.
The Cheeto hauler.
Not the Cheeto hauler.
Just a cheetah here sitting by the railroad tracks, chasing those Cheeto brand snacks.
It hauled lumber from the Oregon coast to Albany,
Wybold, were you just waiting for someone to say that? Like, how long did it take you to come up with that?
and then
It's an old commercial.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
the other train that I saw was the Eugene hauler, which is weird because it's a Portland and Western train, but it uses UP power.
Power!
UP power.
Typically, SD70 amp.
P&W has too much power for its own train!
And then I saw 1501 in EMD SD7 doing yard moves. And then I saw another SD9 in the yard doing yard moves.
Doing important yard stuff.
Yeah. And then at school, well, I had nothing to do in computer tech, so I watched the Chatterston, Indiana whale cam. Or Pennsylvania whale cam. And I saw 3 Norfolk Southern General fakes on it.
Norfolk Southern, what's your function?
And that's about all the whale fairing that I did.
We were talking about that today at the club, right, Alice?
What?
Norfolk Southern, what's your
Oh
function?
God, yes.
You can save that for tomorrow.
How can out the country helping business
I'm
run?
gonna hurt you.
No, I prefer
That's two.
work showing what's two functions.
Alright, so next on the docket
Hooking up the West, helping
is
business.
our assigned jurisdictions. I really don't have much to add to a lot of
Okay.
these. One thing I
So
didn't
you
talk
just
about
go
last
ahead.
week was the Hudson Project, which is the Hudson Revival Project. I'll drop a link to it. It is a, of course,
Very
project
good project.
to
It-
rebuild from scratch a New York Central Hudson, similar to the T1 project, except it doesn't seem to
And
have gotten
similar
this
to
far.
the Y6B
Hush
project.
up, Milky.
That doesn't assist yet.
TJ, stop.
What are you even doing?
Look at it.
TJ, put it back.
No, let Wybold see it first.
Okay, there's more meddling with the document going on in the background. The one thing I really don't
Wybold,
like
have you seen it?
this project is great because the Hudsons are kind of an era that we've lost.
But
But-
it's not a streamline one.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. I don't like the fact that it's not a streamlined Hudson.
I would build one if I had the money, but no.
Well, isn't that kind of the never-ending? I would do it if I had the money, time, and resources.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, most people would.
If I had the money, time, and resources, and the big enough backyard, I'd have a freaking railroad in my backyard.
Like Ward Kimball?
I would own the
Yes.
BMW. For the Western. And then merge it with 4 double railroads and make the Oregon Southern.
Oh, I get it.
But enough
Reference.
about my rambling on about Oregon
Yeah.
Southern.
Another thing that I tossed in here was Mount Washington. Mount Washington Cog.
Not washing. Not washing up.
No. TJ, stop.
Dog.
Did you see it, Wybold?
No, I'm not looking at the
Good.
stupid dock.
Do it.
Okay,
What
no,
on
stop.
earth?
You have to see it.
They
Dear.
just finished building, I think, their 6th or 7th biodiesel engine. We
They
should.
should feel bad. Hippies.
I didn't know they ran diesel in Mount Washington. I thought it was all steam.
It was
They
for a
used
long
to
time,
have
and then they
all
started
steam.
making biodiesels.
They suck. I don't approve
No,
of them.
you suck.
No, they suck. They run diesels on steam railroad.
They said stop. He said stop.
Well, technically, it was never like a heritage railway, so it's not like
It
not like
makes
they were trying to
levels.
preserve that. They're really just kind of moving on. Not to say not to say they're not keeping all the steam engines around, because they are. They still have like 8. But uh-oh. That's all I have to say for this week in my jurisdictions. Let's move on to Wybold, because he apparently has a lot to say.
Okay. Again, as every week, I usually don't have a lot of very big events because, as Ellis mentioned in the timetable last week, railroad news is slow.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of small things. Like last week, I mentioned the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge new parlor car Yankee Girl rolling out,
Oh my.
and it actually, in the past 2 weeks, because I didn't know we would be
Yeah,
doing this
yeah.
bi-weekly at the time, it actually made its debut run as a first-class coach. It was a huge success. It sounds like the restoration went flawlessly. It's painted in the roads like first-class maroon paint scheme, and it carries the plaque of the Durango and Silverton on the back. It's available for like wine, train, and chartering service and stuff. Very exclusive.
Where is this?
Also, on the Durango and Silverton.
Oh, okay.
Where is this, Ellis? After you said it has a Durango and Silverton plaque on the back.
Much wow.
But- Also, I mentioned, same as the Durango and Silverton one, honestly, last week I mentioned Cumbres and Toltec would be opening for the season again, and they have. They kicked off the season with an awesome doubleheader to Antonio between engines 315, which is a 280. It's a C class. Ooh, I don't know. I want to say either a C21 or a C18. And K27 Mudhen number 463, which is one of like
What
3 or
is it?
4 that still operate. It's a Mudhen. They call
What
it
is
that
it?
because they're often really dirty, and they kind of, like a lot of things on the narrow gauge, actually, they kind of waddled down the track, kind of like the Galloping Goose. That's why it's called that, if you didn't know that.
I didn't
The
know
more
that.
you
Thank
know.
you.
The
More you know. That's why the Galloping Goose is called that. It looked like it waddled down the track. But, May 24th, they opened up for the first day with awesome doubleheader on a big, long oil train.
Oh my.
Oh my.
They had music performance by the Bishop's 10 Band, which I've never really heard of.
I haven't either.
And they had a ton of speakers. But yeah, that's about it for Cumbres and Toltec. San Luis and Rio Grande, again, nothing really big there. They don't have a lot of news, but they are running summer concert trains starting June 14th, and their first one's going to be Nitty Gritty Dirt Band,
Oh my.
which sounds, I don't know, can't say I've ever heard the name, but I listened to a couple of their songs, and I have heard them before. So,
Are they good?
yeah, they're pretty good, for my taste at least.
Yeah,
I like
probably not for
dubstep, so
everybody.
that's not me.
Yeah, no, probably not you.
Wub, 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 wub.
Indeed. But, okay, so prepare for battle and rage with the Georgetown Loop this week.
Oh God, that
I have
doesn't
no
sound
news.
good.
I have no news on Georgetown Loop, except for I wanted to talk about the Colorado and Southern Number 9 project.
Perfectly
the Cook
relevant.
Mogul. Huh?
Perfectly relevant.
Yeah, pretty relevant.
Yeah.
But
Seems to chip.
sarcasm.
No, actually, no. I meant that because
Okay.
you were saying
It
I
is a
don't have any
Georgetown
news
Loop
on
engine,
Georgetown.
technically.
Yeah, exactly.
It always does run Georgetown Loop.
That's what I.
But yeah, the only surviving Cook Mogul from the Colorado and Southern. If anybody doesn't know what a Cook Mogul is, look it up.
They're
Ellis often
adorable.
refers to them as being adorable. They're
Are
tiny.
they just little, smaller moguls?
Oh, they are tiny
And
little.
And
moguls.
sometimes they're painted really bright colors.
Yeah, like possibly Ellis's Volvo is larger than them. They're very, very small.
Well, it is a
The
Volvo.
brick.
Yeah.
Bye,
But
my Bob.
very, very small moguls. This was the only one to survive in operable condition. It went to the World Fair in, I believe, 1938.
Yeah.
And after that was preserved, and it went to, I want to say South Dakota for the Black Hills Railroad, where it was painted as the
Wow.
Chief Crazy Horse.
Chief Crazy Horse.
Yeah, I don't really know it was but it was given a diamond stack.
Oh
Yeah.
dear
Oh,
God! Remember
It was
what we were
it was
talking
given
about
a diamond-
earlier?
Yeah, we can mention that in the models.
All right.
In
Oh,
the
no.
model section.
It was given a diamond stack and dubbed Chief Crazy Horse for a while, and it has just recently
Chief
returned to its
Crazy
native
Horse.
state of Colorado in actual black paint with the good Bear Trap Spark Rester on it. And it operated until about 2008, and as of recently, no news has come of it yet. And then I see pictures of it in pieces. And
Dun,
the thing,
dun, dun.
You know
the
what
thing
that
had
means?
just been restored when it came back to the state, and now it's
In pieces
being
again.
fully restored again. It's not like it's having an overhaul. It's half of it's there, and half of it's across the country.
That makes
I think
3
it's
halves.
having-
It's like 1361
Well,
all over again.
it's got a tender, Ellis.
Yeah, but
Don't-
it's
Then where's the other half of the tender?
exactly.
It's a small engine. Ha.
Never mind.
but
It's 1361 all over again.
yeah,
No.
it's basically in pieces. The boiler is currently at Urich Locomotive Works in eastern Colorado, which
That
I
doesn't even
actually
sound
know.
like a reputable thing.
It is actually fairly reputable. It is, funny enough, it's in Strasburg.
Oh,
Oh my.
It's in
Colorado?
Strasburg, Colorado.
Swagsburg?
I don't know what it is with Strasburg and trains, but we have a town of Strasburg, and it really is nothing but a historical steam locomotive repair
shop.
shop. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my.
And I actually know the guy that runs it, and I haven't talked to him anytime soon, but last time I saw him, he was restoring something for the State Road Museum in Golden, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I don't know what to expect on that project. I really hope it gets rolling again. I love those little engines. I know Ellis would love to see that rolling again,
they're
too.
adorable.
Well, Ellis,
I just wanna
clicked on that. I clicked on that link that you put. The picture on Wikipedia is amazingly cool. It's just like 100 abandoned
Oh yeah, that's
electric locomotives.
that's what I said. The Lackawanna Cutoff is just where the New Jersey Transit is storing its electric locomotives that it's put out of
It said
service.
it's the graveyard. Yeah.
Is there a GT1 in that graveyard? by
No.
chance?
The New Jersey
Diana.
New Jersey Transit is after GD1s.
It's post
That's,
GT1.
Also,
No,
Post
they're not.
gangster.
if I can throw something in here, just about a jurisdiction, the T1 Trust met with the FRA.
Federal Rail Association.
And they said no.
No, they didn't say no. Actually,
Oh.
FRA says no.
the trust intends to build a fully FRA compliant locomotive. As a result of the meeting, the trust was able to establish firm contact with the FRA moving forwards. So, very good.
Yes.
I think this thing is going to be done before the Hudson is.
Well,
At this
it has.
rate.
You said it has a nameplate completed.
Yes,
So
in bronze.
wow, that's in bronze of all.
Bonzi.
That's it's a full sheet of metal ahead of the Hudson.
One.
Yeah. And it's arguably, how large are the T1s? Not twice as large as Hudson, but it's
They're
arguably
pretty big.
1.5 times the size of the Hudson. Again, yeah, I don't know so much about that one. But moving on to State Road Museum, my last jurisdiction for this week. Again, something else Ellis will like. Uinta Combine Car number 50 is getting fitted with new trucks and draft gear. And I don't know if they're going to put that back into operation or what they're planning to do with
Do it.
But
If
Wait,
they
you
do,
saw
I'm going to
number
have to go and
50?
see it.
Yeah, seriously. But
Wait,
it
are you
just-
are you talking about what I think you're talking about?
I don't know. What do you think I'm talking about?
The steam engine.
No, the Combine
Thanks.
number 50.
No.
The engines
The
have been...
combine
the
car
engines
that he
are
just
long
said was a
gone.
combine car.
No, there's one Uinta engine
Well,
remaining.
yeah, no.
It's like a casino billboard.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying...
It's like in
the-
Nevada.
But 50 and 51 are long gone.
Yeah, that's why I hate
Aw.
Guatemala.
Guatemala!
Well, now we just lost all our Guatemalan viewers. So, because everyone
Did we
who...
have any?
That one
Everyone
guy.
who likes CSX, people from Wisconsin, and,
And Canada. Don't forget them.
and wait, when did we ruin Canada?
Oh wait, you didn't remember that. Move on.
Move on.
No,
Is that something I should have hit you for?
Too.
Oh yeah, British people left last week.
Yo, yeah, the
Oh,
English.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they abandoned us.
How can you have forgotten?
I forgot about them.
Okay, keep going.
Everyone does.
We're shrinking our fan base.
What fan base?
Very true. Okay, TJ, onto your assign onto Swagsburg.
There's ready for this? Ready? Big news on
Nothing.
the Engine 39 restoration
It's
project.
It got done.
More money is being raised. Woo! Money.
Money.
And then they're on Strasbourg's website. They have their full train schedule back again. 11 a.m. through 4 a.m. Trains leave on the hour.
Thank you for being specific with times,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and that it is times.
And in June, they have the wine and cheese train every week, every Saturday or Sunday.
my.
And then after that, in July,
Why do you put so much
July.
emphasis on July?
because the calendar button isn't working anymore. Here we go.
What?
July, the wine and cheese train,
It's trunk.
and we'll continue.
And
And,
cheesy.
then on the 26th,
Go
there
home,
is
wine and cheese train. You're drunk.
there is the wine and cheese train and a new
Drunk.
event that Strasbourg started this season, the Great Train Robbery, copying the people out west. So that's
Wow.
that for
Cynthia
Strasbourg.
Pineville.
More ideas.
Great job.
And
Cynthia
that's
Pineville
Who's the
had
first to do that?
I think the Grand Canyon did that first.
Was that Ghost of Old Ely? Because I know that Georgetown Loop and a lot of the ones here do it. I know-
No,
I
I
know
think it was
Georgetown
the Grand Canyon Railroad started that.
No, the Cynthia Pineville did.
The who?
Considering I've never heard of it, I highly doubt it.
Yeah, because you're not from Oregon. You're trunk.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, moving on.
What?
What?
So that's
John?
my assigned jurisdiction.
Okay.
What the
Huh?
heck is the
Oh,
Dream
yeah.
Team Steam Team? You know what? You'll get to that.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so for my jurisdictions, not much happened at the Oregon Railroad Heritage Foundation. The
Always.
the Alco got moved to Spencer, which I'll talk about later, as is one of my other jurisdictions. Or it's in the news.
Hmm.
UP Steam, they got 44 teams. General UP. No derailments happened.
Thanks
Buoyancy-
for the info.
Great.
That's
Wait,
generally.
if there was a derailment, call Conrail.
Because it's an emergency.
In an emergency. Again, I love the Norfolk Southern having a Conrail Heritage Unit just to take a jab at them.
Like, hey, look at this.
Although I
We're better.
suppose Union Pacific does the same thing because there's technically still a Rio Grande Railroad, and they have a Rio Grande
It's
Heritage
technically
Unit.
still a Southern Pacific on paper. Technically.
No.
SP did die.
There's
Rio
technically
Grande Corp bought Southern Pacific.
there's still an old colony railroad,
But it's a cheesy
and it's
little.
terrible.
And it's
Still,
terrible.
They have a
Absolutely terrible.
crocodile.
What?
and for Portland and Western, trains were hauled.
Whoa.
Great.
Obviously. Trains
new.
were hauled.
That's new.
Trains
Trains were
went
hauled.
to and were hauled. Now for my wheel.
Drum roll.
Now for something that Norfolk and 16 Urban was moved to its new home. No, actually, no. It was moved to restoration.
Norfolk
It's
Western
implied
for
that-
junk, you're destined.
And then it was announced that 2156, a Y6A of NNW, will
Thank
be
God.
hauled to will be hauled to the Virginia Museum of Transportation and trade for the FTB unit to match the Missouri Museum of Transportation's A unit.
Beat the Beast unit.
And then 1218. The Stevenson that should
You say
Be fired.
could or should?
be fired up. And those three engines are
Fired up or fired out of a cannon?
Okay.
You'd need a decently large
Uh-huh.
cannon.
Bring the Dora gun. Or orbital base cannon.
Or the 7-decker cannon.
Oh dear God, Milky.
Big Bertha.
And if these three ran on Norfolk Zone, I would call it the Dream Team Steam Team.
Oh God.
Good for you,
That's the
Milky.
worst slogan I've ever
So
heard.
that's it.
No, it is
Oh,
not
gosh.
the worst.
That sounds like an anime from the 70s.
It does. The dream
I got
team,
it off of an Adult Swim commercial. So
Of course.
bear with
the
me.
Dream Team, Steam Team. What was there having to do with Steam on
Yep.
Adult Swim?
No, it's Team Dream Scream Team. Like, it was the ad.
Never mind. Keep going. Move on.
So, there was some news.
You're some
There was
news.
some news.
So,
Um,
Alice, you have anything to tell us?
This
About-
actually is relating to Milky, which is why he's egging me on. This is with the Talgo 8s. And apparently,
I waited.
Beep, beep,
shut
beep,
up, you guys.
beep.
It went beep beep beep.
When
I
was
have
this?
no clue what any of you are going on
Friday-
about at this point.
You can, there is a link that you can click to see.
Oh.
But
Talgo 8 annoying noise.
yeah. It was
No annoying
what was
noises.
this? Was this Friday or last Friday? I don't know.
Yeah, it was at some point. Chances are I probably saw the train.
It was
when
a
wasn't.
recent Friday, and apparently a beeping alert noise went off for an hour, and nobody had any idea to turn it off. Now you can listen to it here.
Oh God.
Oh god,
But-
why would you?
You're gonna, the
At
viewers
least-
the viewers will be able to hear that. But
At least we can't hear it.
I only
At
turned it
least
on
there
for a
is hope
second.
for civilization.
But yeah, one of the quotes in here is, "We didn't know if the train was about to blow up."
Thank you, Oregon.
Worried passengers that this beeping noise was about to signal their doom. But yeah, they had no idea how to turn it off. I'm not sure
I'm
how long
laughing-
it was until
I'm
they got.
probably laughing the most about this. Because I've actually witnessed it.
Yeah, well, I assume you didn't end up with the beeping noise.
No, it went choo choo.
Is
I
that
don't-
exactly what it said?
I don't
Monkey?
think it made that noise.
I don't think it. I don't think it made that noise.
Okay.
It came up in a Morgan Freeman tone. Choo choo.
Bait,
That doesn't even sound like Morgan Freeman.
No, it
No.
doesn't.
Choo,
Okay,
choo.
first of all, they should have Morgan Freeman voice a character on like whatever the most recent Tom's the Train spinoff is. But aside from that, Wyvold also has some news, somewhat
No, you know what
somewhat
you should
more
do?
life-threatening
You should have him
than my
play,
annoying beeping noise.
One of the parts in the zombie train.
Oh
What?
yeah, we need more.
Sorry,
Freeman.
sorry, else you were saying?
You apparently have some news.
Yes, I do actually have some news pertaining to my local area. On Moffat Pass, there were rock slides of this past
Alright.
the week after we did the original Terminus. Actually, there
last
were
week?
rock slides over Moffat Pass. So yeah, not this last week, but the week before this week, if that makes any
Recently
sense.
enough to be relevant.
Yeah.
Right, again. So after the last Terminus
What's Kim
broadcast, anyway.
Kardashian on the Amtrak again?
Oh gosh.
It's
No.
happening.
But Amtrak and Union Pacific freights over Moffat Pass, and that includes through Moffat Tunnel, are being rerouted through Wyoming. And yeah, it was stopped. Traffic was originally stopped on May 13 while the tracks were cleared, and it was reopened for a short time after. And after all of the trains that had been scheduled through there had been rescheduled and everything had kind of settled down, they closed it and are now maintenancing the tracks. And they say they have no notation for when it may reopen.
So how did the trains go over the pass, or where did they get rerouted to?
Through Wyoming, so through the Grand Tetons.
Through the route that me and Nick took during train sleep, pretty much.
Nowhere as near as Moffat. No, nowhere is cool.
Yeah.
Nobody else cares. Or nobody cares about the...
And no one gets the reference.
No.
I didn't hear you.
Except for these guys.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the reference.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's next?
TJ.
Yeah, you have some news.
Me?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't, guys.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
News. Oh god, that was last week.
No, this time it's you. Okay, for those of you that can't see, it's the same article or it's the same thing from last week, except they put in his name instead of British man. So, okay, for goodness sake. Okay, moving on again. I have to keep this moving.
But we're somehow down to me again.
Yes. Came around very quickly.
You're a nerd.
It would. So, Fire Up 6-7. It's not fired up yet, but they got it moved.
Okay.
And it was a very awesome consist from what I heard.
What was in the consist?
And it was the Southern Caboose, the NNW Heritage Unit.
And they copied the big boy and routed the brakes through the whistle.
No.
Yeah,
they did.
Oh yeah,
I saw a video of the big boy coming in, and it was blowing the whistle. I was wondering how the heck they did that.
Yeah, it was the brake lines.
I saw one of the NNW 611 blowing its whistle.
Okay. Now, something relating to 6-7 is Y6A goes home to Virginia Museum of Transportation. Hopefully to be fired up. Same with 1218.
We are fired up.
If you're from Virginia Museum of Transportation, please tell them to fire up these two engines. Please.
Do
and
it.
Contact Conrail in an emergency.
If you can't fire it up, call
Conrail.
If you can't, contact Conrail immediately.
Then
If you attempt to fire the locomotive and in turn fail badly, immediately contact Conrail. Again, that number is... Hang on, let me pull it.
Oh no, please, just stop. By the way, I'm just going to say Wyoming is one hell of a detour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very direct at all. It's going to take a lot longer to get through, to get across the rocky boundary, if you will, but...
Okay, so, 1361, huh? That ensign that's gone through so much over the years.
Please fill me in.
Pulling freight.
No, from a potential restoration to a not restoration to one.
A not restoration.
It's been going back and forth.
To an unrestoration. To, just run out to it and beat it with a sledgehammer.
Well, that's what it is right now.
Hey, loser.
Consider yourself unrestored.
Yeah.
Dump acid on it.
I have a feeling that it's going to be restored. Alright,
well, you heard it here first. Milky's got a feeling.
He's got a
feeling.
And, yeah. So, recently, there was a picture uploaded of Extended. It appears to be rebuilt. And in one piece.
That's generally a good sign.
What could this mean?
What does it mean?
They didn't want 50 pieces of locomotive and would have rather just had one.
And then there's a picture that surfaced of it in the repair shop. What could they be doing to it? Exact Steamtown, apparently.
It's at Steamtown.
I'm gonna take a jab then.
Okay.
Is it at Swagsburg?
It'll be another 20 years before it's restored then.
Yeah.
Bring it to Swagsburg.
But the current status of it,
It'll only be 4 to 5 years.
no, more like 4 or 5,000 at this rate. Not much has been done, but the tender has been rebuilt.
Okay.
So
That's-
something's going on.
Yeah.
And they're restoring it. So, and wait for 985. Yeah, it's being restored. Well, it's waiting for 2014 to be finished, but
Hooray!
then it will be their number one priority after that. And Streamline is expensive. It
Streamline
is,
expensive.
yeah. It's a event where crap tons of vintage diesels and steam engines come together.
And go to
Once a year.
die.
Welcome to die.
Don't you mean CSX, Steam Program?
That's Norfolk
CSX
Southern
doesn't have a steam
program, but
program.
yes. That's Norfolk Southern, but yes.
So there's about 30 engines there. From meaning from a Class J to a Alco PA.
Shay.
Oh,
You said PA.
PA.
What
No,
would be-
before that,
what
I
would
thought
be
it
the
said
use of-
crashed Shay.
Cass has Shays.
Cass has Shays?
Oh my god.
Oh, not this
But
again.
they're so slow.
This isn't well a bit.
Streamlined shays.
Yeah, it's not relevant right now anyway. It will be in about 10 minutes or so, but
Yeah.
Why? Oh,
Or not.
right. Duh. Okay,
And
so
then-
keep going.
They also have the NS Civic car there. You know, where they play 6-7 going home. I think. The documentary of 6-7 going home for its first time under its own steam in the 1980s.
Hmm
I
And,
saw that
19.
video online.
and they have two PR units there. They have a Iriak one. They have a freaking EMD distributor unit. And they have they have freaking tons of stuff. They have the NS business train there. It's big. It's a big
The
deal.
Geo train?
But yeah. So that's about it. And that's so tons of vintage diesels and steam engines getting
If
together.
only they had a Hudson. A Drake
One
was
day,
streamlined.
Alex. One day, Alex. One day.
Yeah, well, that isn't even going to be streamlined, so it can't come.
One day.
why have you got to hate on it? It's a Hudson.
Yeah, but they're doing it wrong.
The Oregon Southern will have parts.
Then ask him to streamline it.
Oh my.
It wasn't the Dreyfus Hudsons were never built as streamliners. It
Yeah,
was
I know,
just
I
a
know.
casing.
I know.
They could streamline it at any time if they so wished.
They should just build a shroud and keep it for when they want to put it on and take it off. Like
Like the dust covers a big
Yeah.
Hudson.
like
The dust covers the Commodore Vanderbilt.
or
Yes, watch that happen. Watch them streamline it and watch it be the Commodore Vanderbilt.
No, I'm betting it on the 20th century Yemen paint scheme.
I know. I was I was jabbing at Alice.
The 19th century.
the T1
limited.
the T1 could go in a couple decades or
Oh
more.
yeah.
Ellis, what about the 19th century limited?
Oh god. Okay,
Oh
yeah.
my.
We can talk about that if we're moving on to model railroading.
Yeah.
So
Which all of us have done.
It's now segueing into model railroading.
Oh my god.
Oh, not this again.
Reference to last week.
Go.
2 weeks ago.
and the great segues of last week.
Yeah. The better ones of this week.
All right, so big thing this week, or that TJ just referenced, was at the railroad club. Well, one of the guys who has the giant box full of steam engines is out, but we got the combination for his box. So
That was a bad idea.
on his part, no, and one of his engines that's my favorite is a New York Central Mikado, mostly because it's got traction tires that can pull everything.
Nice.
But
Oh, freaking.
Need
But,
to get traction tires on mine.
yes, they help. But he found in the bottom of the
So
box.
alright, let me explain it.
Okay.
So being the curious person I am, I was looking through a couple boxes of Spectrum, So I guess
Alright.
Spectrum makes rolling stock as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw a longer thin box.
Oh my.
Take
Of
a
the
look
Spectrum box.
inside.
There was like six.
I was hoping.
And there's like 6 of them. So I opened one of them. It's a New York Central 20th Century Limited paint scheme
Passenger car.
coach with horn hook couplers.
With horn
Shut up,
hook
it's-
couplers.
Yeah, no, with
Buddy.
horn hook couplers.
There were 6
And-
cars, and every
I
single
have
one
that.
of them had horn hook
Oh, wait.
couplers.
So we
except for
started.
the baggage car
Spectrum
on
cars?
one end.
Yeah,
I've just been named to fix that. I have a XO New York Central Weifu that's KDs on one end and horn hooks on the other.
yeah,
That's
no,
how
no,
the
but listen,
baggage car
listen.
was.
We started to put all of these cars down, and he didn't realize they were horn hooks at first. And he takes the first one and puts it down, and goes, "Oh no, they're horn hooks." And he's supposed to take the rest out of the boxes anyways. And I was thinking, all right, well, there's got to be a couple around here somewhere, and I know I can find a screwdriver. And then he takes the baggage car and goes, "Wait, Ray wasn't an idiot." The front end of the baggage car had a regular KD coupler on it.
Those crabby men.
But I
But see, you couldn't do it TJ style and pull it from the parlor car going in reverse.
Oh,
Because that had a
Why
horn hook
would you
coupler.
do that?
because that's what TJ
Why
does.
wouldn't you do that? That's Swagsburg style right there.
Oh.
Okay, so I put the Mikado on this train,
Leading with the end of train platform?
and then
Yeah.
one of the older guys was making fun of me for running a Mikado on a New York Central train, a New York Central passenger train. And
He
I was
could.
and then when we were leaving, we pulled it into the station track and left it with a note that said #Steam Takeover. And I was walking out and I said, "It's the 19th Century Limited. It's not classy enough. It's not classy enough to
no.
be the 20th Century Limited."
That's not good. Well,
That's great.
great job.
Other than that, TJ ran a Shay a lot. I ran a Challenger.
Oh my.
What's up with here? This is something that we didn't talk about, but there is a member at your club that is. We'll call him Person X. Anything new with Person X this week?
Yes.
Oh, well,
actually.
he put together all the tank cars at some intermediate point last week, and so when I showed up today, I showed up ahead of him, and as he put all that work into putting a giant train of all the tank cars and the layout together, I decided, well, I'll take this, and I put the Challenger on it and ran it around for about an hour.
Nice. What did Person X think of that?
Not much apparently.
But so
That's good.
I was running the Shay, and in the yard that I was in, it would have taken like an hour just to get an 8-car train together with a Shay. So I started picking up a couple cars that were relevant to the Shay, and Person X goes, "You're cheating!" And I go, "Well, I'm sorry, but I had to do it. It would have taken me an hour just to get the train out of the yard." And he
You're
goes,
cheating.
"But you and else yell at me for when I pick up cars." I was I didn't say anything, but I was about to just go to him. I was like, "Because you dropped a 90-car train onto the floor."
Well, yeah, no, but
3 feet.
I also told him, I also talked to him about it later, and I was like, well, when he was doing that, and I said, "You don't have an engine that only goes 2 miles an hour. You're not exempt." And he goes, "Yeah,
And
mine goes 80 miles an hour." And I was like, oh.
You're not making a point for yourself, dude. You're not understanding the concept of.
The other thing he did though was he goes, he says something, and then Ellis was like, "All right, I'm getting out of the branch line," and all of a sudden he turns the corner, and then this Santa Fe, like, what was it, like a Dash 8 or
I don't know.
SD40?
It was. I was coming through the branch line with a train, and I just turned the corner and I was like, "Oh man!" I almost ran straight into him. Also, he bisected me like he did to you.
He did.
What?
I was pulling into the stage.
No, because
I was pulling into
tell him what I
staging.
did first, because there's in Providence Yard, there's 2 crossover opportunities. There's the yard
This
lead,
was in-
and then
this
there's
was
one
in St.
that goes into
J's.
the yard. No, I'm talking about the one that happened to me.
Well, no. Yours was in St. J's.
Oh, you're talking about when he crashed in? Did he crash into you?
Yeah. No, bisected you, as in hit the middle of your train.
Oh,
And knocked
well,
it
I was
over.
talking about today. I was pulling out of the yard using an open track, and all of a sudden he comes flying around the corner, and I stop to fix a coupler, and I keep moving forward. Then all of a sudden his train, he crosses over.
Also, someone saved me with a red pin. I almost ran into Don because I was controlling 2 trains from the dispatcher booth and trying to read a book at the same time. And
That doesn't. Oh dear.
to be fair,
Roger yelled at me
it was Isaac Bell. You can forgive me for that.
But so anyway, I was coming in reverse, and then all of a sudden he throws a crossover and pulls right in front of me, and I go, you saw me going towards the crossover. I'm exiting the yard. You see that, right? He goes, no. And he kept doing it, and then he derails his train.
On the crossover?
Yeah, so I end up backing up my train and then going on the runner all the way around to the other end of the yard, which took like 20 minutes.
Person X. I have a feeling we'll revisit him more and more.
We're going to. He is probably, I wouldn't say the most entertaining thing about it.
One of the more interesting aspects of...
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the coal train accident in Denver and New Orleans with Weibull.
Yes. So just real quick on the whole you trying to control 2 trains and read a book at the same time, Roger barked at me kind of sarcastically the other day, hey, no texting and driving.
Hey, someone did that to me at the last operating session.
Turning off an alarm that had gone off on my phone, and I was controlling my freight up the hill.
And then you slammed into someone. Ah ha ha.
No. No, that was somebody else that did that. Okay, so the coal train accident, basically, how our layout is set up is there's a yard at one end of the layout, and that kind of hooks into this massive, like, triple loop-de-loop dog bone thing.
Yeah.
And you can either, the way out of the yard, we have a westbound and an eastbound main line, and the way to get out of the yard on the eastbound main line is you either have to go through the eastern staging yard, which currently the wire is torn up for, or you go through what we call the coal shortcut track, which basically flies over the staging yard and heads up directly toward Parker in the coal mine. And so...
why does it exist? What's the point of it?
Because it's basically used so that coal trains don't have to run through the storage yard.
Oh, okay.
Because the storage yard tends to get a little bit congested with trains anyway. And also, it's one of the only ways it's the only way into the coal mine via the eastbound track.
Oh,
if you were to enter because it comes out of a tunnel and immediately goes into the mine. If you were going westbound, you could get to it, but eastbound you can't. You can only go through it one way. Yes. So basically, the wiring's torn up to go through eastern staging. So a friend of mine, Roger, who has 2 Bachmann 2662 Malays.
Oh god.
He starts up a train, and he's got everything put together after about an hour of fiddling around with the DCC, by the way. We're all, something's up in the control tower beeping the whole time, and we're like, okay, so this is on DCC, this is on DCC, this is on... Where are we going wrong? And we just sat around fiddling with it for like an hour before we finally got it figured out. He gets on his train, and by, this time we're trying to adapt to run with card order stuff, so he's thinking he's late. He jumps on the train. Because we're joking around, he jokes about kicking the union guys out of the cab because they were doing nothing anyway. Gets a real fireman. Yeah, we joke about that kind of stuff a lot.
And I'm reading the Striker right now, too.
Oh, lovely. But starts heading for the staging yard. He says, "Can you switch me over to the coal track because the wiring's torn up?" Well, actually runs into the staging. Train dies. Everybody's wondering. One of the guys that actually knows what's going on comes out, pulls the train back, switches it over, all that stuff. So now he's headed up the coal loop around, flying up the coal loop around, probably like 60 or 70 scale miles an hour or something uphill. But, he's got 2 locomotives, so he can make it. He's got the equivalent of 4 060s on it. So he's making a good time.
That's funny. I've never heard someone quantify it like that.
It sort of makes sense, though.
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
Big boy. It's kind of the equivalent of running 2 Mastodon locomotives in a doubleheader.
Or one back to back.
Yeah, tip to tender. But, where was I? Oh, yes. So he's coming up the track, full speed ahead. And the way that, again, the layout is set up, the entire coal run around the track is hidden. Because, again, it comes out of a tunnel and directly enters the mine. So it's running. Both of his engines have sound. Just, there's 4 there's a total of 2, 4, 6. There's a total of 8 pistons on.
Yeah, I know. It sounds.
the entire chain.
We have stuff like this.
It's this massive hiss coming from the tunnel,
The Challenger sounds like that.
and all of a sudden we just hear, and then something falls and hits the floor. He's like, cut the train, cut the train, cut the train. So we kill the train. I get under the layout to see what the heck happened.
Oh no!
And because the eastern staging is like out of commission, last week we were running a big, like probably a couple miles scale long coal drag and just parked it at the mine.
Oh no!
The engines were at the mine, and all of the hoppers were underground in this big long runaround tunnel. But it was hidden, so we didn't even know it was there, and all the photo cells that have the indicators on little electro map where trains are, they weren't working as well because we're rewiring that whole area.
Great.
So we had no indication that this train was here. He probably took he rammed this thing so hard he probably took the caboose and like 5 or 6 coal hoppers off of this train and,
dumped them on the floor.
Yeah, just spraying them to the side. And, this track is hidden, and it's still like 10 feet, or not 10 feet in the air.
I get it.
Yeah, not, it's high up in the air, and it's hidden.
Like 5 feet, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably reasonable. But, again, he hits the back of this thing. We take about 10 minutes, and the whole trouble with this runaround track is, like I said, it runs above both of the east and the west staging yards.
Yeah.
So it's extremely hard to access it because you have to reach, in a perfect world, you'd have to reach through the east staging yard and then access the line.
Oh my.
So we're having to reach up there with, grabbers, and people are, bending all over the place to get up to it. Finally, we get all the wreckage cleared. And, his train's moving again. We get the coal train back down the mountain, limping down the mountain with a few broken cars. Get it stuffed into the siding, put the engines in the workshop for repairs. Take the few cars that broke, or the 3 cars that had broken that we found on the floor, and took them and started working on them. Everybody's running
mechanical shops.
We put the hopper cars in the actual workshop where we actually worked on them, and the diesel's just in the diesel shed, basically. And so we're running again. As they're putting away the coal train in the yard, though, one of the newer members, John, made the comment, "I swear that thing didn't fit in the yard before." And even when we tack on the cars that we repaired that we had found under the table, it still fit, which was really curious. So we're looking around and stuff, and I eventually get to running my engine because it was stuck on a faulty track. I'm running my engine around, again, headed up that same coal runaround track.
Oh, God.
And it dies all of a sudden.
Oh.
It didn't, and so I'm going to see it, and it's just on some faulty track or something. And I get it going again, and as I am looking down from my train to get back on the floor and crawl out, I stop about half of the way down, and right in front of me, tangled in a bunch of wires as it fell, is one of the coal hoppers. So I come out of there holding this coal hopper like, I think I found our culprit.
That's great.
That's the end of my long and winded story.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
We're almost at an hour, so we're going to have to kick this into high gear. But Milky...
I have the XO Oregon Southern Railroad hopes to build in track. Yeah. I just hope to get track. That's all.
Got the union licensing?
Yeah. I just hope to get the track.
Did you get the permits?
Yeah.
Wybold, did you say you were going to go for Cambria as your font?
Courier, sorry.
Courier. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's about it for what I did, TJ.
Well, I eventually figured out the final plan for my downgrade on my layout. Instead of having half the board cut up and brought down to a lower level and having half stay level as an industry, it's going to be the whole board going down and then probably having a riser on the half that was going to be the industry and have that as the industry. And then on the other end of the layout, in the Phillipson side of the layout, if you read the story, you'd understand. But I have almost finished my runaround track. I just need 2 more quarter curves and a half straight, and we'll be able to run around my train finally. And then after that, we're going down the grade with well, first we're building the bench work for the grade and the lower level. Then we're going down the grade and all the way to the engine facilities on the other side in Harrisburg. And then we are doing the runaround track at the Harrisburg depot, and then doing the industries, and that's about it for my lab.
Milky and Wybold, Train Mountain stuff. Lego.
Geez.
Oh, the triplex needs to be in here.
Yeah.
The what? Oh, yes, it does. So... Okay. Milky, do you maybe want to start us out? Because I'm still winded from my overly complicated and extended story. Maybe just start out with what Train Mountain is and what makes it unique.
So, since I'm the only person now, well, all of us that's been the Train Mountain, I will tell you what
Spin us a
it
tale,
is.
Milky. Spin us a tale.
Yeah. It's a very big live Steam setup. It's in, well, 1.5 feet. And yeah, it's the world's largest setup. It's even in the Guinness World Record book.
World's largest scale model railroad at 35 miles long. Real miles, mind
Crap.
you.
Yeah, real miles. Yeah.
They every 3 years they hold a meet called the Triennial where live steam enthusiasts who, if you're not familiar with the live steam hobby, you've probably seen it. It's just the little trains that people like sit on top of and ride around.
And
I
try.
want a real engine.
Yeah.
Do you even
But
live?
live steam enthusiasts, live steam enthusiasts from all over the country and all over the world. Even there's a lot from Australia that come up for this.
Australia.
And they expect almost 200 trains to run on this line every year for this week-long period. And it's just this massive event and this huge, shebang. I've made the reference to it a few times. I've called it Train Mecca because if you're a train guy, it is the place to go. It is the haven of railroad stuff.
From a guy that's actually been to it, yes, it's good. You will be blown away.
Blown? You will be
yeah.
blown.
Jeez.
You might
On a
have
train.
wanted to think about that.
Oh, back to the British again.
We did not have to bring them into this.
We
Now
didn't
they
have
hate
to,
us
it's
even
fine.
more.
Alright, so we can talk more about Train Mountain next week, given the time. But we have some V-scale stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a sweet mod that we all love very much. It's called Rails of War.
Sadly, I haven't played it yet, but I want to.
It's
You
a
haven't
mod
updated
that
it yet?
it
But,
just celebrated its first year.
yeah, Minecraft mod, mind you.
Yeah.
Well, who just control aid?
Me.
Don't do that again. It worries me. Stop.
What, control A?
There's another rainbow doge at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, no, I moved it there. It's continuously moving around.
Don't you mean control B?
But moving on.
Yeah.
Rails of War.
Yeah, Rails of War, it is large-scale Minecraft trains. The tracks are 3 meters wide.
Yeah, it's narrow gauge, pretty much.
What?
Narrow
Narrow gauge is
Minecraft
3
sarcasm.
feet. Never mind.
It literally, Milky, in real life, the tracks would be almost 9 feet wide. The rails would be about 9 feet wide.
It'd be broad scale? Or broad width? Whatever.
Yeah, like Wybolt's town.
Shut up! I knew that was coming. Knew that was coming.
We need to talk about that someday.
Isn't there actually a
Next
rail
week, perhaps.
that's called
Alright.
broad?
And some cool stuff happened with trains, apparently.
Broad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just put that there for somebody under all's jurisdiction. If anybody
Damn
has
broad.
anything to add for that.
Okay, no, never mind.
A new era.
Yeah, a new era. We can talk about that in the future. In another era.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Okay.
Terminus Van Anaconda Railway didn't work too much on it, because instead I released The Pass, which is the second released Zombie Train book, the third chronologically.
We didn't release it, you just released a promo.
And the only one that I've done well. It is the first manuscript is up for download if you're interested.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone here should be interested. Ahem.
I don't like it.
Well,
It
that means you
should.
read it.
Yeah, I
Tamros
suppose
Vale
it's fair.
Anaconda, and I put in Providence and Northern here because it's my project after the Tamros Vale Anaconda. I've been plotting out where exactly it would go. And a lot of times it's following abandoned roadbed anyways, which is, makes things easier.
Yeah.
Alright, so Weibold.
Yes.
I heard you did some grass.
Oh,
Grass,
dear.
grass.
On my channel, again, for anybody that keeps any tabs on my train videos will know that I haven't posted them in a very long time. But I have started work again on Copper Mesa and Timber Peak, which is my big layout. It's not the one that you've seen me doing work on in the past. It was my big showcase layout. I got the files to run again. I'm going to do some more streamlining at it. I'm basically just doing a scenery redo. And right now I'm working on some track work, actually, with getting up to the log mill, because the average grade for that line was 8%.
Oh
So
my.
it now is a much longer loop that goes around the valley, and it's about a 4% average grade now.
Man, you could do some Dash 9s.
Seriously.
Do you even lift?
Do you even pull?
You could use a certain Uinta engine.
Yeah. Number 50, cop.
51.
Yeah, you in top 51 is the one that Ellis loves.
Yes. Really? You're recording it?
We'll talk about that next week as well.
Okay. And Milky, for the last thing of the week.
Yeah. Right now, the Oregon Southern. I had some track I'm building to the Oregon coast currently. I'm actually driving down what I have so far the Oregon coast route. As in, I'm actually driving a train right now, so, yeah.
I'm flying a plane in War Thunder.
I told you to
And
stop
then-
playing War Thunder.
I'm sitting.
Nah.
It's bad for your health.
It's bad for your health.
Sitting or playing War Thunder?
Gives you
More
ideas.
fun
All of
to
the above.
talking. And,
Sitting's good for your health.
then I'm
No, it's
also
not.
developing a route called Trust Ride the Train. It's pretty much the CB route for trains trail.
Oh
Where
no.
random stuff happens and whatnot, and yeah. It's currently a work in progress, but it's probably gonna pop up in the next train's Tuesday or Thursday video. Probably Thursday, because
Yeah.
Tuesday I prefer to work on the Oregon Southern.
Well, maybe we'll talk about Seaview next week for those people that don't know about that. But
Yeah.
does that cover things for this week?
Pretty sure. Wraps it up pretty nicely. And
Oh, that's
we'll
pretty
all
good.
see you next week. Or, sorry, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
I'll
Yeah.
see you, every day for the next 2 weeks. But
You'll be seeing me. No.
the links to
Oh.
everyone's channel will be in the description below, as well as links to various other things that we talked about today. Hopefully
Oh, yeah.
next week we'll have a custom title card to look at, courtesy of Weibold, and we are kind of prototyping what an intro to this would be like. So, also, it's coming out epic in our heads. So,
I know.
oh yes.
Oh yeah.
The train will terminate at
Oh,
this
yeah.
station. We'll see you all in half a month.